scrappy friends. I hope you guys are having a great weekend coming up, right? Well, today's Friday. It'll be Saturday when you get this. It'll be the weekend. So this is a fun little mixed media layout that I am doing for you. And this is also double fun because this is a video response to my friend Dani. She has a YouTube channel. It's Dannielle Brown, and I'll have that in the links below. And she just hit 1,000 subbies, so yay, Dani! That's so exciting. It's always fun to hit those milestones of getting more and more subbies. And she is doing a giveaway, and so I am doing a layout for that, but I'm just doing a layout because it's fun to support my friends. So anywho, the giveaway, I believe, goes until today at 12 o'clock, but I'm not positive. So even if you don't have a chance, you can always stop over there and check her out and see if you like her stuff. And you can submit, it doesn't have to be a video. You could just do a layout and just share it with her. And so here I am. Okay, so that background, I was talking while I was doing it, but I had gessoed the background. I just used a card, like an old gift card, and I put a really, really thin layer because I didn't want anything really thick. And I find that if you do it really thin with the card, it doesn't warp as much. And the cardstock that I'm using is a little bit thicker, so it tends not to warp so much. And then I just created dashes and some circles with my watercolor. I got those watercolor brushes, so those are the ones that have the water in them, and I really like those. I got them so that I can maybe work on some script stuff, but also just to have a little fun with. I'll probably take one of those with me when I move also, so that it can travel well. And so right now I am just working on getting some layers. So when I first thought I was doing this layout, I thought I was going to use that black and white dot with the blue, like cut 6 by 6. And then as I got cutting it, I was like, hey, this would be really fun if I did it in a strip on the sides. Excuse me. So that is what I'm doing. And I'm just going to layer some of these papers. And I'm also using my March Clique Kit. I have tons of papers. And so I want to get them used up because, you know, it's nice when you feel like you've used a collection or a kit to its maximum, right? And there's this really fun washi tape. So I'm going to use that a little bit, and I'm really digging these fresh patterns. And I know Dani loves lots of color and pattern and stuff, so definitely this was a nod and wink to her. I mean, obviously it's a little bit more my style, and I kind of left a lot of white space because I do kind of like that now. But it's just really fun to have those pops of color, and I am sticking to this blue and black and white kind of thing. I don't know what it is. I think it's partly this kit. It just lends well to using the black and white with some punches of color. I will add a little bit of green later on, and you'll see, because my photo, which in a minute you're going to see it because I'm going to start using some layers behind it, has a little bit of green in it, so I do add some of that. And I really thought this needed like something to like draw your eye in, just a little border. So I'm just going to draw this. And I am using my ruler to first get that first line straight. But after that, I'm going to go around again and really make sure I get a nice wonky line, because I didn't want it super straight. I kind of wanted it that hand-drawn look. And this pen that I'm using right now is the ones that Jen Scow uses. It's a Muji pen, and it's a 0.38. So it is pretty thin. So that's why I did so many lines going back and forth, because it's really thin. It took a little while for me to actually get used to writing with a thinner pen, because most of mine are, I think, 0.5 maybe. So it flows a little bit different. and it kind of takes a little while to get used to it. So if you use a thicker pen, like if you change to a thinner pen, you're going to have that. So right now I'm just picking through the embellishments that I think are mostly blue or that I'll use. I was thinking at first that maybe I would use that over top of the whole thing because I really like that acetate. I actually bought that. So this was in my stash, and I bought it with in mind, knowing that I would probably be using the Goldie collection. It's from Studio Calico, and I really want to add this in because I really like that silvery look of the lines, and I think it's going to go really well with my photo. Now this photo is a photo that I took with my iPhone, and I put it on Instagram, so I have a little bit of the filter on it. It's not much, but I can notice that it has a filter on it. Now that I've been using my DSLR for a lot of shots, I can kind of tell the difference between the filtered ones. But I really like that look because the sun is shining in and my son is just sitting there on top of that car. And he just looks so silly. And I was like, what are you doing? Of course, after I took the photo, I went out and yelled at him because I don't want him getting hurt. But it was kind of a funny moment to just see him sitting out there by himself on top of the car. Like the car is going somewhere. And it's just one of those fun moments that, as a mom and whatever, you just want to document because he's not going to stay little like this forever and do silly things forever. So now I'm just layering these blues and blacks and white colors, and I'm just kind of seeing what I think is going to look good. I just want little tiny bits of these to show because I really want to be able to see this background. I love what I did with the background, and I don't really want to cover it up too much. So I am keeping that in mind as I'm doing these layers, which is why I'm just cutting little bits and pieces, which obviously doesn't use up my paper that well, but that's okay. And of course now I'm getting some of that glue. That's the only thing I don't like about the ATG is sometimes a little bit of it sticks out and you got to rub it off. And so now I'm getting ready to put this on, and it does take me a minute because I didn't realize that it wasn't going to be big enough, that piece that I cut out. And so I just put my photo just a little wonky so you can still see the lines. I mean, this doesn't have to be perfect. And so here I'm taking that green tag, and at first I was going to put it on the side of the photo, and then I'm like, and I thought about using that bow clip because it's really cute, but then I'm like, it doesn't really have anything to do with my layout. And I was like, okay, it just didn't work, even though it would have added the dimension. And so I am cutting off little bits, each of the sides of that tag, because I figure I'm going to try to use it a little bit more. And that hello, I really like it on the other side. So here I'm just adding just a little teeny tiny bit of it so that you can see just a hint of that green. It really is going to help make it feel a little bit more cohesive because then just like random green spot. Well, it is random green spots, but with all that blue and black, it's got to feel like it works. So I really wanted it to be in each of those little areas, and I'm not doing a triangle as far as like my embellishment clusters. I pretty much pick a few spots and it's just random. It is not in any design principle way. And I'm okay with that. I think sometimes it's okay to just do whatever feels natural, because sometimes even though it doesn't necessarily follow all these rules that we feel like we have to follow when we scrapbook, but sometimes it's just fun to just do whatever and not worry about it and just go with it. I mean, it can look good and not be this perfect design principled layout for it to be amazing. So that's just my opinion. I mean, it is nice to have a nice flow on your layout, but I feel like just the way that this is, it kind of lends towards just being able to be fun and just go with it. Like I said, I really wanted a lot of the mixed media elements to show. This is one of those moments where I was really sad that I covered a lot of that middle part up, but I didn't know where else to put my photo either. And it is kind of floating, but I'm okay with that. Like I said, this is So now I'm just kind of finishing up. I'm really almost done. And I'm going to add that ampersand over on that side. I really like the way that it looks tucked under. And then that thing, that piece says, "So that happened." And I just thought it was funny. So I'm going to use that roller date or roller stamp, and it just says "Happy Little Moments." And I really thought that it kind of went with it. My son was just truly happy to sit on the car the wrong way. And I'm going to title this "Mom Where's the Keys?" because he's just acting like, hey, I'm just waiting for my keys, you know, waiting to drive. And so I really just kind of wanted it to be fun. And so because I don't have a lot of space and I kind of want to tie things together, I decided to add where's above and then the keys over to the side. I know maybe it doesn't read that great, but you know, I'm okay with that. Like I said, this is just kind of like a random bit. And so the journaling I didn't do yet, or well, I'm on the screen, but I will be putting it up in the top, probably above where it says "Mom Where's." And I'm going to add some of these sequins. They're like a zebra type of print, but the silver and the black really lend well to the colors that are in there. And with my title, I did add some blue stuff in the title, but I just kind of let it be. I really love those alphas. They're really, really fun. I love the font of them. So this is about it. I'm just about done. I am going to splatter a few of the watercolors because I use the gesso on the background where I live. When I use Heidi Swapp Color Shine on gesso, especially the black, it really takes forever to dry, and I didn't want it to smudge, so I'm just using the watercolor. I think that it gives a nice color and it doesn't smudge as well. So it just was really fun. So I hope you guys go over to Dani's channel and check her out and see all the stuff that she has. And if you have time, please, you know, do a layout for her and enter her giveaway. I think she's given away $50 to paper issues. And so, like, that's amazing. And who doesn't love, you know, a fun giveaway? So I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you guys later. Bye.